Am I the asshole for telling my sister I didn't appreciate her leaving her baby with us, when we were about to leave, to go to the bathroom? Throwaway, I'm 25 and Sarah's 28. Me and my sister Sarah are on good terms, but we aren't close by any means. We see each other during family events and things like that, and text occasionally, but that's about it. One of my cousin's kids turned 1, so a few days ago they had a birthday party and invited friends and family. Sarah has a 3-month-old daughter and Sarah was at the party. She came later and we chatted a little bit. So everyone was starting to leave. Me and my husband Alex were also about to leave when Sarah came up to me and asked if I could keep an eye on my niece for a few minutes while she ran to the bathroom. Now, I want to add I don't have an issue with this specifically. My problem was that she saw that we were about to go, yet she left without waiting for our answer. After she came back, I told her that I didn't really appreciate her leaving like that without even waiting for an answer. I said that there were still a few other people around she could have asked, who weren't leaving. Sarah replied that she didn't really think it through and saw me, so she came to me. This isn't the first time Sarah's pulled things like this, not with me particularly but with our parents, who bend over backwards to do favors for her. I do understand the situation and her circumstances, now with an infant, but there's a limit. I told her I get it but maybe she should think things through for once. She started crying and said she's very overwhelmed. We ended up leaving after that and I do feel kind of bad for what I said to her, but I don't think it warranted crying. Alex agrees with me that Sarah was overreacting a little bit, so am I the asshole? You're the asshole. Jesus Christ, I bet it took you longer to write this out than it did to just wait for her to pee. It took her longer to write out just the title of this post. You're the asshole, you were in such a hurry to leave, but you stayed to chastise her. Also, don't fight your parents' battles for them. They are adults and can do that for themselves. Obviously I have no way of knowing this for sure and I may very well be wrong, but something tells me the sister isn't even asking that much of her parents, and OP is blowing it way out of proportion. 3 months in, moms need some help to keep sane, and grandparents are usually very excited to be that help. If OP thinks that their sister asking them to watch the kid for 1 minute was the limit that shouldn't have been crossed, I'd put money on the parents are just excited to be grandparents and OP is jealous they're not getting as much attention as they used to. ETA, OP's comments have begun rolling in and y'all I was right. The sister's boyfriend died early in her pregnancy and OP is butthurt that their parents are helping the sister with her grief and her child, instead of taking OP out to lunch. Gonna throw in another you're the asshole just for good measure. Yep. This screams, I'm not the baby anymore. She's acting like a spoiled middle child as an adult towards a baby. That's really fucking sad. This screams I have hidden resentment and jealous of sister/baby. It isn't well hidden. My sister-in-law was like that really bad when my kids were babies. She was the baby and is still very competitive with my kids, the only grandkids for her parents. She's 24? Mine are 7 and 9. She had a full-on meltdown, went upstairs crying around Thanksgiving during a Monopoly game. I think it's common when kids are spoiled by their parents they get jealous and resentful of nibblings. I can't believe watching the baby for a minute or two while she went to the bathroom is her limit. How ridiculous. I had a cousin on my mom's side like this. She was so spoilt by her parents and my grandparents as she was the first grandchild. As time went on other grandchildren were born and she resented every one of her cousins especially my siblings and I as she didn't consider us real cousins since we had a different surname, my dad's surname, while my grandparents, her parents and she all had the same surname which was my mom's maiden name. Everything she wanted she got. For example we have an uncle who is nonverbal and has other disabilities so was mostly like a child all their life and she used to steal all their teddies and tear up all their belongings. She was allowed do this and her parents never said anything as she was the golden child. When my grandmother died she left me and her will all her jewelry and personal belongings. My cousin and uncle did not like this and he threw a massive tantrum after the funeral. They started demanding everything as she is the first grandchild and should get everything. They got lawyers involved in everything but it was found that since I was left them they're mine. It's been 15 years now since Nanny passed away and my cousin and her father still to this day claim I stole their inheritance and blacken my name to anyone anytime they get a chance. I think it's so ridiculous because she's in her 40s and her father is in his 70s but this is the first ever time in their life that they haven't got their own way and they cannot handle it. I can't understand their mindset and how they're so immature about the whole thing. Rolling eyes face. Reading her comments makes it worse. Her sister's boyfriend died 6 weeks into her pregnancy, and she throws a fit when her parents cancel lunch to help out their grieving daughter and baby. This is entitled youngest child behavior. It took me way too long scrolling to learn that. Are there Am I the Asshole awards? This one is a candidate for sure. There are, and I feel this woman qualifies for something like most callous asshole or the like. Or the lady who didn't want to invite her brother whose wife just died to family dinner because he's such a bummer. I'm still mad about that. Me too. This OP and the other one could be good friends, but it probably wouldn't work out. They would have a royal fit if not in the spotlight at all times, and they'd be competing with each other. She had died 8 weeks ago, surely he was over it by now? /S and they couldn't even go a few hours without mentioning the wife's name, which is what made him cry and make the guests uncomfortable. Or the girl who asked her boyfriend's roommate to stop making herself breakfast and leave the kitchen because she was trying to have a private breakfast with her boyfriend, and couldn't understand why as a guest she had to clean up after herself after making a mess in the kitchen to make them brunch. If there is, I vote this lady and the guy who filmed his son's birth, shared it to his entire family without his wife's consent. Then when confronted by wife he said that it was his family's right to see his son born and his right to share the video. Link? https://reddit.com/r/am ith asshole/comment/xw924r/ida_for_my_husband_for_sharing_with/original post has been removed, but automod still has the evidence of her husband's grossness. Automod post because it is a long ways down. https://www.reddit.com/r/am_for_sharing_with/year52rjd/ /source equals share and /medium equals iOS_app and /name equals iosmf and context equals 3. I could swear I read another Am I the Asshole recently where someone was bitching about the attention/support their sibling, who it turned out had lost their partner during their pregnancy, was getting. It comes up surprisingly often. There was also a post where OP and their husband were a few months ahead in a pregnancy than OP's Bill and spouse, and had opted to name their baby the same name that Bill and spouse had picked out for years. This led to a lot of "you're the assholes" off the bat. But then later comments from OP revealed that the name was actually the name Bill and his former partner had their minds set on when his partner was killed in an accident late in pregnancy. Tier all round. Poop knife etc. Look in the awards. You're the asshole. My god, OP is some kind of sick in her soul. 100% this. My brother and my sister-in-law have a 2-month-old and my parents love watching him all the time, which is a huge relief to her. Even I, child-free, will babysit and would hold him if she had to pee. You're a saint. I wouldn't dare to ask anyone for such a huge favor. Even a sibling. /S. You're the asshole. I will and have held strangers' babies so they can pee, or tend to another kid, or get stuff sorted. Jesus, if she were super late she could have just passed the kid off to other people at the house. Here family, take my niece, I gotta run. Bye. 3 months postpartum, I'm gonna bet when she's gotta pee immediately too. Yep. I can't imagine any other legitimate reason for being upset about this. And regarding the sister overreacting, being sleep deprived, hormonal and generally exhausted puts you on the edge at the best of times. To then deal with all of that while at what was probably a large and overwhelming function, it's no bloody wonder she cried. Add in the embarrassment and humiliation of being berated by an immediate family member in a public setting. Absolutely, you're the asshole. OMG. And in the comments, OP says the sister lost her baby's father while she was pregnant. Let the poor woman have a pee. You're the asshole. I'm pretty sure I've seen this story here before. Except baby was older and OP was upset parents were doing too much to support sister, cancelled Christmas trip etc. Me too. Something about telling their sister to deal with the situation after her sister's husband died? There's a comment from OP in this thread about a broken arm that also reminds me of the comments in that one. An immediate family member who is so unwilling to help you in even the slightest way that they get upset about holding the baby for 2 minutes while you pee. I am so relieved by this comment section. I really wasn't sure which way this one would go, but I found the second to last paragraph so over the top I really hoped other people would agree that this was "you're the asshole" territory. But there's a limit, that is the limit? If 1 minute to hold the baby while she pees is over the limit, I'd hate to see what the actual limit is. Yikes. Wow. As a widow myself whose husband died when my daughter was 8 months old, I'm going to say 100x she's the Like, hold on while I pick my jaw up off the floor. And given that she speaks of her situation and no mention of a man, I'm gonna take another wild guess that sister is a single mom, so even more reason to help out every now and then. The sister's baby's father died 6 weeks into the pregnancy. OP is just dripping with empathy and support. Rolling eyes face, I doubt she will, but I hope OP apologizes. Oh, I didn't even read that. That's so sad. My heart breaks for the sister. Wasn't there another complaining post from this unempathetic sister? You're the asshole. My husband and I are grandparents to 3 gorgeous grandbabies, now aged 10, 8 and 3. We're also going to be welcoming a 4th in December. I agree that grandparents love helping to take care of their grandchildren, it's one of the wonderful things about it. OP is definitely the her poor sister. This breaks my heart for her. LOL. And that limit is holding a happy baby for 2 minutes while someone pees once every few months when they see her at a family events. Can you imagine? It's so onerous. OP has limits. Oh my gosh, it's not the first time your sister has asked for 2 minutes of help from her immediate family? And your parents actually care about her and do super easy super short things that cost them nothing to help her out without spending x10 as long complaining about it? I'm shocked I say. Are your parents normal people? Is that why they don't mind? Wait, worse, is it possible your parents love your sister? Or their grandchild? Could you imagine? You're the asshole. I agree with you and would like to add, choose your battles. OP, do you really want to have a discussion about this? If you make everything a big deal, then nothing is a big deal anymore. I kept looking to see if the sister had stayed in the bathroom for an hour or some detail to warrant being annoyed, but nope. Sister, I am sorry that you might have peed or pooped yourself, but I require a contractual agreement before I watch your baby for a few minutes is an odd hill to stand on. The only justification for the complaint would be if OP had to catch a train/bus/plane/whatever scheduled transportation. Instead of this inconvenienced me for 5 minutes. God help you if you ever need to ask anyone for help, because I doubt anyone else will want to when you treat other people like this. You're the asshole. And OP wonders why they aren't close. FFS. You're the asshole. If I was considering going NC with a relative and they did this, I learned I wouldn't mind IT. Watching a 3-month-old baby for 3 minutes involves a B significant other literally nothing other than just existing in the same room. 3 minutes is probably generous, honestly. I could pee in 3 minutes, with like 90 seconds to spare, before I had a baby. I'm betting that 3 months in she's got it down to well under a minute. This isn't a bragging look how fast I pee thing, it's a my baby screams when I put her down or leave the room, so the faster I go, the faster that stops thing. You're absolutely right about the lack of effort it took though. Unless it was feeding time or the baby did a giant poop as soon as mom ran away, which is completely plausible. Since my baby was born she would only poop when I wasn't in the room. But barring one of those two things, mom could be gone for 20 plus minutes and baby would probably just lay their content. Edit. Rereading this I realize I kind of contradict myself with saying that baby screams when I leave, but it takes almost no effort to watch them. I'm assuming the baby in question was either sleeping or was cool with moan leaving, cause OP doesn't seem like the type that would leave out the fact that the baby was screaming the whole time. OP doesn't seem the type that would leave out that the baby was screaming the whole time. Good point. Also, I legitimately chuckled when you mentioned that your baby would only poop when you weren't around. Potty training must have been interesting. And even then, if 5 minutes is the difference between catching and missing said transportation, they probably should have left earlier. And also not stayed to berate the sister. Clearly time wasn't an issue since they took the time to berate their sister and make them cry. Her parents bend over backwards for her, or perhaps they take every opportunity they get to cuddle their grandchild a little longer? Or OP doesn't see how they bend over backwards for her too, lol. The scapegoat/golden child thing is way too common, but most parents are decent and treat their children equally. She makes it sound as though everyone is unreasonably accommodating to sister, but without any examples this seems like whining. I'm thinking that the sister shows appreciation for what her parents do for her, so they are more inclined to help her, whereas the OP doesn't show any appreciation, just expects things, so the parents are less inclined to let themselves be taken advantage of. Hijacking to add something I haven't seen in any comment yet, that adds to sister's urgency. Even if she had a C-section, your pelvic floor muscles get messed with during pregnancy. If you give birth naturally, this may or may not mean that you'll randomly pee a little if you cough, sneeze, hiccup, jump, crouch too quickly, etc. for the rest of your life. C-section, it generally recovers just fine, but 3 months PP, it's still pretty much when you gotta go, get your arse to the toilet or you'll wet yourself. When you're in that moment, you find the quickest, easiest place to safely leave your baby and pray you get there in time. Even without that consideration, OP's being unreasonable, but just to add context to her rush, her ability to not wet herself is limited at this point, hence the not waiting for a response and not stopping and thinking about what she was doing. Yeah, this was my thinking, maybe she needed to go urgently and didn't have time to wait for a response. Even if you do your exercises, it can take a while to recover your pelvic floor. OP, you're the asshole because watching someone's baby for a few minutes while they pee is such a simple thing to do for someone. I can't possibly comprehend why you're making such a big deal of it. I would do this for a goddamn stranger, let alone my own sister. I was literally wondering about that as I read OP's post. I'm child-free, never been pregnant, let alone ever had postpartum issues, but I know pregnant women have issues with having to go, and I was assuming that doesn't magically stop the moment you give birth. Because, lots of stresses on that general area. I went through 30 hours of labor to end up with a C-section and now have issues with my bladder. My pelvic floor is fine, but my physio thinks the receptors in my bladder have been damaged during pregnancy or labor, so even though I didn't give birth naturally, my bladder is still fucked. I can't believe the OP has got a cob on over holding a baby for 2 minutes. If she wasn't close to her sister, she certainly won't be now. I've had 3 babies, so I totally understood the sister's rush. I am overwhelmed by the number of posts in this vein, just petty and lacking in simple empathy. Even if it was an acquaintance, let alone a relative, let alone immediate family, that asked me to watch their child while they went to the bathroom, my response would be yes, of course I will assist you while you fulfill a basic human need. Right. I'm extremely uncomfortable holding babies, but when my friend had a newborn and was needing to go to the bathroom, it never crossed my mind to do anything apart from take the baby from her. I helped a stranger yesterday who was struggling to balance nappies, shopping and a screaming baby on her own without dropping said baby. I know it's not the same as going to the toilet, but it's still just helping a new mom out in the most basic way you can. It's not hard op. She's your sister and you're the asshole. ETA, if you brought up the bit about how she does this to your parents too, that's probably why she cried. She thinks you're all talking about her behind her back and that you don't think she can cope because she relies on you guys, her bloody family. The very people she should be able to rely on and ask to watch her baby for a couple of minutes. Again, you're the asshole. I'm rolling my eyes so hard at your obtuseness that I can see my own arse. Ha ha ha. See your own arse. Love it. I literally had a stranger ask me to watch their baby in a stroller while they stepped into the bathroom. I was on a college campus and happened to be sitting near the bathroom studying. I said yes, no question. It was even a bit hard for me emotionally because I was in the midst of coming to terms with infertility at the time, but that came second to the fact that another human being needed some support so they could fulfill a basic human need. In fact, I took it as a compliment that I look safe and maternal. Ha. A big ass hug for you. Your kindness and gentle nature must have spoken to that mom in need of a minute in the bathroom. I bet you have a wonderful soul. I wish you happiness. This is one of the kindest things anyone has said to me online. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a decent human. You're the asshole. As a new parent, I was waiting for some horrifying child abandonment situation. Nope, just you making a very minor event very distressing for no reason. Yeah, I'd. Something about the sister crying makes me think we're missing something here. I'd. Thanks for the replies, everyone. I was rereading my comment and wanted to clarify that I wholeheartedly think OP is TA, but wasn't sure how much until getting this context. Major, you're the asshole. Maybe spend some time thinking about why you reacted this way. Oh. VA. She's a new mom with her first baby, and dared to ask for a moment to pee by herself, and got told off for taking advantage of family. New moms feel so judged and overwhelmed, are still experiencing hormone changes from pregnancy, and are usually exhausted. To have such a minor request be met as if she had dropped the baby off for the weekend, with no forewarning, is more than enough to make most new moms cry. Came here to say this. There was no overreacting on the sister's part. With a 3-month-old baby, she could just be sleep deprived. No mention of the sister's partner, so she could also be a single mom, which may mean she's even more exhausted and therefore more emotional than usual. Sister's boyfriend, baby's father, died while she was 6 to 7 weeks pregnant. OP's even mad that her mom rescheduled lunch to take sister to a therapy appointment and watch the baby. I burst into tears when I dropped a teaspoon on the floor. My baby was 2 months old. I hadn't slept more than a few hours at a time for months, because sleeping during pregnancy is hard. I was touched out, tired, sore, I'd had a C-section, and the noise of a spoon clattering on the tiles was enough to break me. Oh, I so feel your pain. For me, it was dropping an egg on the floor. I slid down the cabinet to the floor slowly, full force weeping, then I started laughing because I could have won an Oscar for Crazy New Mom. I was so slap happy from lack of sleep. God, I hope I'm never that tired again. Postnatal depression, hormones running mad. The body takes a bit to recover after she probably dealing with mom guilt because she needed to pee. In fairness, it could have been a dump. Well, technically it was. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button for more content. I post every day and I'll see you next time with more stories.